Check this out, Annette. So I found this on X, but then I looked it up and they had already marked it up on X, so it worked better. Can you see that?
A vote by mail ballot identification envelope has no dated postmark. The postmark is the one that you have circled in red, right?
Yeah, look in red though. Vote by mail ballot identification envelope has no data postmark. The postmark is ineligible. And there is no date stamp for receipt from a bona fide private mail delivery service, but the voter has dated the vote by mail ballot. So it's gone from the machine to the voter can date it. And you don't think a registrar's office in a Democrat run registrar's office where they don't allow the Republicans or they throw the Republicans out. That doesn't happen. And people are like, well, William, what proof do you have? I don't have to show the proof. The fact that that's in there and allows it to happen is a massive red flag and should not be allowed and should be changed. Racist, voter suppression. That poor person was just too stupid to go sit there and mail in the ballot because he lives in the ghetto, the barrio, or on the Indian reservation. So I, as a white supremacist Democrat, have to count that vote for them. Postmark. Why are you such a racist, William? That's the game they played for the last 20 years. Again, I say it sarcastically, but when you try to implement the law, when you try to make it an election with integrity, they call you a racist and you lack compassion. That's been their whole shtick since the 1960s. So then when you think California couldn't make this system any harder to audit, Gavin Newsom goes and signs one more law that turns the whole thing into an election fortress. SB 73. SB 73.
Yep.
So I want to treat this more as its own fact and stakes type of segment here. I'm not going to get too deep into the weeds, but in essence, what SB 73 actually does, it's signed quietly by Gavin Newsom on May 27th, and it makes it a crime for law enforcement or federal agents to access voted ballots, voter rolls, or voting machines unless they have a warrant or a very narrow state authorized investigation. Democrats pitch it as protecting elections from interference and keeping Trump from seizing ballots. In practice, it builds a legal wall around the entire California election system, especially the ballot roll and machine data you need to prove fraud or systemic abuse. So, why it's being called Newsom's election fortress? Well, California already has universal mail in ballots to everyone on the rolls, which is massive red flags. I myself received when I was independent and switched to Republican. It was, the ballots, not the real ballot, but like the practice ballots they send you with all this stuff.
Yep.
I received one for both independent and Republican. Because of that, when I called and informed them, I asked the lady, would I have received one as an independent actual ballot? She goes, more than likely you would have. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But thank you for calling this and rectifying this for us. I'm thinking, are you honest, just blowing hot air? No voter ID at the polls and weak ID standards at registration. Again, I am Juan Luis Lopez. I just crossed the border and I like Brad Biden. Here you go, Juan. Head on over there and fill your ballot. You need a little help there, Juan? Habla español. Here you go, Juan. It's in Spanish. One of 27 languages we, the taxpayers, have footed for make voter fraud easier. Ballot harvesting is fully legalized. So we've been talking about the homeless. I first got into politics when I was in college. I remember that's when I learned about the retirement home scams. Democrats would go register retirees and they caught somebody and sent her to jail. What she was doing, all the ones who registered Republicans, she was putting them in the trash on her way out and only taking the Democrat ones in. So this is not something new. It's been going around. We talk about the homeless, but there's also the retirement homes. They also go to barrios, the ghettos. They go wherever they can, ballot harvesting. People say, well, Republicans are doing that. Don't ever give your ballot to another person, Republican or not. Your vote is sacred. Do the research and do it yourself. So I'm like, screw you, Republican Party. Don't ever, ever come to my house. I'll have choice words for you if you don't get off my land. Then you got voter rolls that aren't aggressively cleaned. LA worked out a deal because they were busted in court, but they didn't clean the rolls. They still haven't cleaned the rolls like they were supposed to. And that's all over the state. We have millions of voters on the rolls that shouldn't be there. They're either dead. So this individual in Virginia, he said, I live in Virginia now, and for like the 10th year, I've received a voter roll. So a newspaper said, we have debunked this. He never received it. What he was saying is the ballot was still being mailed to his home where he used to live in California. So what did the newspaper do? They just lied. They created a straw man. We debunked this. We debunked it. It was never sent. Well, that's not what he said. It's still being received where he used to live, but they won't touch that. So they create a lie. I hope this person sues them because they, in essence, were trying to destroy his credibility. So SB 73 adds a final piece. If you want to investigate how those ballots were used or misused, you now risk criminal charges unless you navigate a maze of warrants and state-approved processes. Now, we critics, we call this Newsom's election fortress because it doesn't just run a loose system, it criminalizes trying to look inside of it. Hey everybody, this is William Del Pilar, founder of Grumblings Media, and I want to say thank you for watching our content. If you want to support our all-volunteer efforts at Grumblings Media, smash the subscribe button right here. 100% free, and please consume and share our great content. Click either one of these two boxes for more of our work.